Let me hit record. All right, Nicola, I warned you in advance, so if you want to introduce yourself to the team, folks that are here, and the folks that'll watch the recording later on.
Yeah, sure. So guys, my name is Nikola and I'm coming from Serbia. I live in Serbia and I was senior software engineer in global app testing. This is the UK crowdsources QA testing company. And like decision to join the GitLab, I really like the startup culture, and when the company has a great great product that works on the great scale, and somehow GitLab was logical step for me. So I think that memory team sounds like a great way to sharpen my skill and learn new things, because we will try to optimize and scale things up. So I'm looking forward to like learn new things and work with you guys.
Cool. Anything you like to do for fun outside of work?
Yeah, I really enjoy traveling and travel photography, and I like snow and skiing and mountains. So yeah, like skiing is my great passion. And beside that, I'm like working out. I'm training the CrossFit. This is popular these days. At least started to be popular in my country. So yeah.
Right on.
And
Well, thanks, Nicola, and welcome to the team. So this is our usual Monday meeting. We go through what's in flight for the week, raise any questions, and walk through some of the boards that we have. So first thing, we have a couple boards. Nicola, you'll get links to them. I'm going to share a memory team onboarding task with you here shortly, and you'll get all these links too. And actually, in the memory team channel at the top, you'll be able to see that the links are on top as well. We have planning and workflow and milestones. The ones where we spend the most time are the milestone board, but the workflow board is important as well, and we could probably make better use of it as the memory team. And once we actually get a product manager involved, which I have a meeting later on today, we'll start making use of, there's a column that's missing here that I will add that's ready for, oh, actually it's right there in front of me, ready for development. So we'll use that to prioritize work and people start picking it up. But where it's important for outside this team is just to see what issues are in development. And I usually review these during the week to make sure that they have the right labels on them, so folks know that what we're working on, what's in review, what's blocked, and what's been closed. And that's just kind of a long list. But take a look at the boards, make sure your issues are properly labeled as you're going through development with them.
So this should be the primary source for figuring out kind of the what's next, right? Because there's also a board where epics and stories are ordered by priority.
Yeah, so there's, sorry, get a different tab open here. So there's the milestone board too. And what this says, so we're in 12.4 right now, and everybody should have work assigned to them. If there's something that's not assigned, you can pick it up from top-down order. So I think this is what you're referring to, Matthias.
I think I've seen this as well. I was thinking of, I think it's called planning, memory : planning, actually. There's another board. Yeah, that sounds right. Yes, that one. So that's the one I have been looking at most, but maybe I should be looking at the workflow board more.
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest, I'm not sure if you reorder them in one board, if it's reflected here. I would think so. But in any case, if you have any questions, just ask the memory team channel as well. I typically I will plan off of this board and make sure that things are in top-down order for the milestone. And then I'll take a look at these, this board, the workflow board, to make sure that everything's labeled, or I'll ask, where is this in the workflow pipeline? And I use the planning board less. But gives you an idea of the priorities from outside. If you don't know what the P1, P2, you can just hover over them and see what they mean. All right. It's probably not going to be answered by anybody here, but I got feedback from someone that they weren't getting any attention on an MR. Like it took over a week before, well, it took a week. They didn't get any feedback. They pinged folks that were part of the reviewer roulette and still didn't get any feedback. So I just asked them to start reaching out to other folks directly, especially within the team if they're not getting any feedback. But let me know if it's if you encounter this as well. The turnaround time is supposed to be 2 business days. If when someone gets assigned through the reviewer roulette, if you don't hear anything, feel free to ping them or start asking for other help, because we shouldn't be waiting too long for MR reviews. All right, and then on to what folks are working on. So Camille's mostly working on Puma related tasks and some health check endpoints that need to be added. So what we ran into while we were trying to get Puma out onto Canary was we couldn't do 0 downtime. And there's a bunch of work that was identified and needs to be related. We had a Puma timeline sync, which actually might be here. Okay. Yep. So Camille, I see you type in there, but how are we doing with our rollout for Puma? I think I need to ping folks that were on that timeline sync doc, because we haven't had a quick sync since we had that document 10 days ago. How are we looking for Puma rollout? Are you blocked for anything, Camille?
I am just trying to finish this merge request that you see on these issues, because like I'm actually waiting to finish the one that I listed here, 17962. I have functioning that, but I still have to finish test maybe, I don't know, tomorrow or day after it gets merged, then it unblocks omnibus changes. And I could then finish this, these readiness probes aligned that to what we discussed on the meeting. This is super easy change, but I need to close this issue first. Also, this merge request first. Once we have that, like, because technically I have to merge like this. I have to merge 2 merge requests out of that story. One is created, second one is not yet created, but it's gonna be super small because it's basically gonna remove all other checks from the array of checks. It doesn't make any other difference. We should be able then reach to the delivery team asking for the validation on staging.
Okay.
So this is how it looks. I'm actually now. I just see to do this merge request today after like 1 week being gone. So
yeah,
nothing I can do about that.
Okay.
I'm hoping that it's gonna be merged still within this milestone. All of that
Okay.
data open.
Well, the milestone ends on the 17th, so Thursday.
It's impossible. I'm quite quick to get my changes merged, so it seems possible.
Okay, cool. Is there anything in parallel that we could be doing or other folks could be doing, or is this the blocker for everything else to move forward on Puma?
I guess it's a blocker because until like we merge omnibus changes, which I kind of like make it blocking on waiting 1796 tool. They cannot really like deploy and test that yet.
Okay.
I'm kind of thinking that it's gonna be easier for me to merge this merge request and create another one and have something being done in the parallel. It's much easier to review that. It's not so big. So I should have that ready tomorrow, and maybe like tomorrow or the day after it should be merged.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks for the update. Looks like Tinyu updated his work. Comments and below. Camille, looks like you had some questions. I saw the comments from overnight where Matthias is going to start pairing up with Jinyu. Had lots of questions about approaching either through reading or smaller MRs. It sounds like there's some follow-up discussions that need to be had there. So
yeah, we had a chat today, but I don't think the story is on this list.
It's probably not.
Yeah,
it's probably in 12.5.
Yeah, it's one of the larger ones that still need breaking down. So I think he just wanted to, like, bounce his ideas off of someone. So we had a chat about it, and yeah, to the extent possible, I was trying to help him out with this and give feedback. So there were some more general questions. I posted a couple in the issue itself. I'll let Jinyu follow up on that as well to get his view again, because I mean, he's thought about it way more than I did. But yeah, this definitely needs breaking down. It's probably not something that I could be like super hands-on useful for right now. So I'm still open to work on like something else smaller that's more actionable, more tangible right now.
Okay.
I just wonder what's gonna be left over after 12.4. Can we take a look at what is gonna be left over?
What's going to carry over?
Yes, because we should have pretty good idea already.
Yeah, that's a good question. I didn't look at those. So let's see. I have to pull these out side by side. Sorry, I'm not sure which screen y'all are seeing anymore. Oh, you're probably still seeing the board. So let's see, this one is the top one from Jinyu, is awaiting deployment, merge request closed. This one's yours, Camille, the improved pipeline process service.
So I'm quite certain that this will move.
Okay.
I merged like this calculate CI/CD statuses. So
Yep.
it kind of requires for now, like waits for the validation. I hope that I'm gonna find time to enable that. And what else we have?
This one is still in development, so it's going to probably carry over. This one is the...
I just took a look at that one, and I saw also like Matthias comments, and I also posted some proposal for the patch. So maybe we're gonna merge it tomorrow or the day after.
Okay.
Because it's pretty much I think good enough. There is still some improvements that Matthias proposed, like counters.
Oh yeah, please don't feel like you need to be blocked by that. This is really just stuff that that came to mind when I looked at it. I'm
cool.
still trying to figure out how
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna propose you to create a follow-up merge request with your improvements that you are proposing.
Yeah, cool.
It's gonna be likely the easier to move on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. This one, excuse me, is the community contributor work.
Yes. So actually, like I did reviews that from the Bala today, and I had some comments. Quality was kind of so-so, but it seems that he should be able to align that after comments. So maybe it's gonna be merged as well.
Just taking notes here.
Then we have allow memory limits to configure dynamically.
MR
And this
approved.
this is waiting for the merge.
Yeah.
So then we have the last, what we else have, extend write Prometheus metrics. So this was not started. Move Ruby health checks, allow additional methods. This is kind of like parts of that are merged, so I'm getting on fixing that. Standard error, I believe that this one is merged already, so I don't know how additional should be validated because it's more like the backstage improvement, so I would close this issue. Then we have metrics missing. So it kind of
close this one.
I did close that already.
Okay.
So we have these metrics missing. So then the question is like, how quickly we merge merge request with metrics, or maybe like we merge the smaller merge request with just fixing metrics. So Matthias, maybe like you could get like this one
Okay,
done
yeah.
quickly.
Cool, I'll have a look.
If you do it like, I don't know, today, if you still have time, or like tomorrow morning, I could merge it separately without waiting for the another one.
Yeah, cool. I'll have a look.
So we could close that, because technically speaking, like we have, this is bug fix, so we should rather have like the separate merge request to fix the bug fix instead of bundling that with something bigger from the process perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And this follow-up seems that I hope that I'm gonna close that as well. I may struggle on getting documentation be done within this milestone.
Okay.
So it seems that like, I don't know, something like 1 or 2 issues we should carry over from that backlog.
Yep. I only counted 2, but I can't remember which one. I think it was the standard error and yeah, there were 2 at most. So for 12.5, we have the bigger issues for allowing memory profile of Sidekick jobs, and then the investigating memory consumption for Sidekick processes, and then we have the endpoints, which for some reason keep sliding down to the bottom.
So about this allow execution memorial profiling, I would propose doing some sync meeting, like me and Ginu and Matthias, to try to evaluate that, how important is that, and what we could do the simplest, because I'm seeing some discussions right now that you, Matthias, have, that like probably you are confused as me exactly what we have to do with this issue. So maybe doing some sync call on this particular one, since this is at the top of the list, would be quite helpful.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea,
do you
because
want to
maybe
just
this
use,
can be a lot smaller than it currently is even.
Yep. Do you want to just use the office hours tomorrow to do that, since it's already on the counter?
I may be using like tomorrow's time on finishing what we have in the 12.4 first. So unlikely tomorrow, after I'm like not stressed with getting my merge request finished. So likely somewhere around Thursday.
Okay, well there's
So
one scheduled for Thursday too, right? Or is it Friday? It's Friday. You want to just plan for that one then?
yes, so Matthias and Ginu, when he sees, please think about that very hard, like what it does mean and what we should do there.
All right, I'll put a note in the office hours for that.
Because we also have like 12.5 with like bunch of random items. And now I am just wondering how structured is that?
Yep. Well, I'm meeting with Joshua later on today, so maybe I'll get some feedback from product management. I will move the endpoints up a little bit higher, so it's obvious we should start taking a look at those, especially the merge request endpoints.
Because for example, I am looking like dynamically set DB pool if Puma is in use. It's quite easy, and I'm sure that we should fix that as soon as possible. Yep. Because it's also quite easy. Investigate memory consumption for GitLab Sidekick process. I have no idea what we should be doing there. Reducing memory usage of Sidekick tasks. It kind of connected with the previous one.
Mm-hmm.
Add an API endpoint for the profiling. Seems like very similar. Parse maps and produce Prometheus metrics. Unlike maybe we don't need to do it at all. Then like we have these intensive endpoints, and we have also project import, best values for Puma, zero downtime deployments, update documentation for Puma switchover, add GitLab control reload. So kind of like random items, at least at this moment.
Mm-hmm. Well, yes. So we have Puma related work and we have the endpoint related work in there for now. But again, I'm meeting with Joshua later on today. So if he has any themes, then I'll get them in there. But if not, a lot of investigation, this milestone.
So I would really want us to do some of these optimization of the CPU and memory on some of these endpoints, because I think it broadens the scope, and I'm not so certain about side key tasks, reducing memory usage of side key tasks, because I don't know even where we should start looking at. So solving something that we know that is underperforming is the easiest to get some results and with some more knowledge that we could be spreading. So at least from my perspective, it seems that we should be focusing on this project import-export that we are finishing at this moment, finishing Puma and investigating, I'm sorry, not investigating, fixing these CPU or memory intensive endpoints that are quite easy to see that they are broken, and maybe they are quite easy to fix.
Yeah, and maybe I need to sync up with Andrew, because the reason the Sidekick work was prioritized was because of that outage that we had a couple months ago. And it was identified that Sidekick was causing a lot of problems. But I think with the fleet and queuing updates that he's done, maybe it's less of a problem. But the observability...
I would be not surprised if the Sidekick priorities did shift, because we have extra new findings that are completely different from the findings in the past. So I would be not surprised that we would be doing something different on the Sidekick right now. It is kind of also reactionary to what is happening now, but may have just more sense. So maybe, I just wonder, maybe for the next meeting we should invite Andrew every sometime.
Yep, I'll see if we can make it. All right. Well, we are at time, so any other comments or questions, just feel free to add them in the doc. All right, thanks everybody, and again, welcome Nicola.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you guys.
Bye.